it's Jen again. I thought I would do another Let's Play video, so downloaded a game called Balance of Power. On their website they say this is a romance-based visual novel set at a university in a world where everybody has a power. So it's a little bit different than some of the other games I've tried so far. I thought maybe we could go after maybe a different genre this time. So yeah, I'm just going to be giving my first impressions. So I won't be really, I'll just be kind of skimming through the story and just kind of talking about like, probably focusing more on the visuals because that is where you kind of get a first impression. I think they're really important when it comes to visual novels. So when I loaded it up, we've got this pleasant kind of upbeat soundtrack going on here, and I like the title page. I like the design of it. I like the colors. I like the fonts. I like the logo and this kind of like checkered or rhombus style design here. I'm wondering if that's going to be a reoccurring theme with the GUI. But I like these gold accents. It feels very sophisticated, and it has kind of a little bit of that what art period am I trying to say? Not like Art Nouveau, but my brain is just total mush. Kind of like that, was it 50s or my brain is just mush. I don't know my art history very well, but yeah, I feel like this is a very specific kind of like aesthetic that I've seen in like advertisement and theater, from like a very to a very specific kind of like time period and style, but it's nice. So let's go ahead and start. Before we start, I did want to check something. Would you like conversation choices? Let's go back to the title screen for just one moment. I want to see something in the settings. Okay, that's in a second too. Okay, before we start, would you like some hints for conversation choices? That looks amazing. Okay, so that's a nice feature. I think it's a little bit too hand-holdy for me, so unless they have a lot of really sarcastic comments that are like difficult to grasp contextually, I think that I am going to... Well, that looks amazing. That looks great. I'm gonna hope that I can just kind of read the room. Oh, so that's nice. At any point I can actually enable that feature. I don't know if I like this transparency here. I'm not a huge fan of like shadowed fonts. I realize that this is just like kind of for probably just for this customization section. I hope this isn't like a thing that's gonna keep occurring. I kind of like how this like has this like little bit of an off-centered anchor point here, where then you have your kind of your menu options off to the side. Doesn't always have to be like perfectly symmetrical. In fact, I think a lot of these kind of text plates tend to do better leaning more over to the left side, being that that's where your eye starts when you're reading the text. As long as the text itself is somewhat balanced and it doesn't feel like my eye is just constantly just focused on this little tiny corner of the screen. It's interesting, the androgynous option, maybe just because anime style Bishonen boys are often very effeminate looking, so the androgynous option doesn't look very androgynous to me. It looks a bit effeminate, but I'm gonna pick that. And my first name, we will just go with my middle name. And my last name, I don't like coming up with last names. Let's just go super generic. Smith. And I don't know that I personally could get used to being other pronouns just because I am used to being a she. I don't mind role-playing a different character, but I'm just kind of going through this for a first go through. Miss Smith. Nice little dissolve there into the subtle change in artwork. Very different tone all of a sudden from like, that was a very quick transition from like, this is sad, this is dark kind of music to like, this is life. Interesting. Nothing like human experimentation or people. I do appreciate that they are giving the player a lot of options for the protagonist, especially if it's going to be kind of a self-insert. If they intend the protagonist to be a self-insert, I think that that giving people lots of options is important in that case. Yeah, I can see why they decided to go with the transparent background for this. The more that I am reading it, because the texts are in like kind of single sentences or very very short pieces of text in a large font, it doesn't bother me as much as I thought it would. But I think if these narrative texts in here were more descriptive and longer to read, then I think that it would bother me that it's on a transparent. I feel like maybe this could even just be like tinted. Like I can understand if you want to have like the full immersion with these like nice backgrounds and these character arts that you don't want to like cover it up. You want to show as much as you can. But I feel like maybe even just like a slight transparency, you know, just a little bit of visual difference here and around the text would just help it stand out more to me. Because like I'm just not a huge fan of like just this white and then the shadow. Like I think I would even prefer just like a complete outline stroke than the shadow. I don't know. I could be wrong about that though. I mean, it could just be my personal taste. We have a little bit of an audio cue to say, I'm assuming that person liked the response, audio and a visual cue. There was like this little sparkle noise going on. I like the, you know, the different character expression. Looks like they've got a good variety of expressions. See, like that? Something like that, but maybe even a little bit lighter just in this bubble. I'm getting like fixated on that. I apologize. I just think that like when you have anything that you want people to read, you need to make it as easy as possible to have them read, especially when it's something like a visual novel where it's all reading. And design almost has to come second to like how easy it is to read, and I think that I only think about this because I'm so guilty of doing things like that myself, of like getting into like trying to make it look pretty in design and then having it not be as readable as it should be. But again, I think it kind of gets away with it because the texts are in such small snippets. I like these backgrounds. I like the composition of the backgrounds. Cute. I didn't press that. So far, I feel like the protagonist has a lot of kind of personality, and they're already making a lot of decisions for the players. I don't know that I feel like they're as much of a self-insert as like having the those kind of gender options in the beginning would have them. Like, I don't feel like my choices are really kind of like molding who this character is. Like, maybe I'm kind of like a little ghost on their shoulder and like giving them a nudge on like how I want them to, what type of a relationship I want them to have with this person that they're talking to. I almost personally wish that it would just go strong one way or the other. Like, either you have a lot of choices and you make the person feel like you're really talking for the protagonist and they are the self-insert, or you have them well defined and then you just go ahead and give them a name and you give them a look and you make them be, you know, you commit to that character. But again, that's just me. I like to go hard in one direction, I think. Again, these backgrounds are really nice. I like the compositions in them. I think that the color choices for the backgrounds feel very cohesive. They kind of go with this like kind of purpley yellow border. Just kind of having some of those like purplish magenta kind of hues in the backgrounds, and then the characters have like they also feel like they have a very cohesive palette, not real strong saturation, like kind of playing it safe, but like very complementary colors, like this green color that goes well with the purple. It helps them kind of like feel like they're not too separate from the background. Just like little choices like that, like even having these kind of maroon, you know, accents on her, help her kind of like match with like what's going on in the background. I appreciate little things like that. See what the save menu looks like. A little bit of lag there. Go back for a moment. Oh, the back is, they've disabled the back and skip options. I wonder why they're here if we can't use them. Like, if they ever become enabled, I can see keeping them here, but like if they never become enabled, like, is it only through like an entire playthrough that these things are unlocked? Let's try that. I thought it gave me the option when I hit T to toggle that setting on. Maybe I can do it here. Oh, okay. After choice, all messages. So I can turn that on here. Right? Skip. Or I can't skip because I'm at a but is there a back option? I don't see the back option. I actually like that. People like being flattered. Again, color palette is very in line with the theme of everything. Feels very cohesive in that regard. It's very, very safe too. Yeah, I don't know about that back button, if I'm just missing something because I'm kind of like skimming over things. Sassy. Yeah, they look pretty. And see again how this protagonist is very like neutral colors and then complementary with the purple. I am just the most normal thing ever, and if you have a problem with that, then I'm sorry, I'm not into drama. Green, very yellowy green. I do like this kind of like faded purple with the rhombus for that kind of that motif. That always makes the background kind of feel like it blends in with that purpley yellow color palette. I guess you wouldn't get that if you gave this some kind of like a little bit of a transparency layer. I think you could go with just even like 10%. And it helps kind of like also make the characters feel like they also blend in with that theme. This kind of gives me a good idea of the game overall. It's I think it's pretty nice looking. I don't know that the story is for me. I might just like be too old to be interested in this type of the kind of school dating kind of story, but I think that it looks pretty nice. Yeah, I will leave a link in the description below for anybody who wants to give it a try. It's available to download for free on itch.io. So thanks very much. I'll see you next time. Take care, and don't forget to enjoy the process.